Welcome to pile number 1. What you need to leave behind this year is the weight of other people's rules. The Hierophant is the card of tradition, institution, dogma, and inherited belief systems. The structures that were handed to you by religion, family, society, or culture, and that you absorbed so young you never had the chance to question whether they actually fit who you are. This year, that questioning is not just invited, it is necessary. You are being called to examine which of your beliefs are truly yours, and which ones you have simply been carrying out of habit, fear, or a deep-seated need for approval and belonging. This does not mean burning everything down. Some traditions are worth keeping, and some structures genuinely serve you. But the Hierophant in this position asks you to be radically honest about the ones that do not. The rules that make you feel small. The expectations that have never aligned with your authentic self, but that you have contorted yourself to meet anyway. The version of success, relationships, spirituality, or identity that was defined for you by someone else, long before you had the wisdom or the courage to define it for yourself. There may also be something here about leaving behind the need for external validation, the constant seeking of permission, approval, or the blessing of an authority figure before you allow yourself to move forward. You do not need anyone to sanction your path this year. The most important work you can do is to trust your own inner guidance over the noise of convention. Leave behind the congregation that requires you to be less than you are. This year you get to write your own doctrine, and it begins with the radical act of simply listening to yourself. Welcome to pile number 2. This interpretation requires a moment of real tenderness, because the Ten of Cups is one of the most beloved cards in the tarot. It speaks of emotional fulfillment, family, harmony, and the kind of deep contentment that feels like a dream come true. So when it appears as something to leave behind, it asks for careful and compassionate reflection. What this card is pointing to is not the abandonment of love or joy, but the relinquishing of a picture of happiness that may no longer be true, or may never have been yours to begin with. What you need to leave behind this year is the idealized version of how your life was supposed to look. The perfect family dynamic that exists more in hope than in reality. The relationship you have been trying to save or recreate because it matches the image of happiness you hold in your heart, even when the lived experience tells a different story. The expectation that everything should feel harmonious and resolved before you allow yourself to be at peace. That picture, however beautiful, may be keeping you locked in a version of life you have already outgrown. There is also a possibility that you have been pouring enormous emotional energy into maintaining appearances of happiness, keeping things smooth on the surface, being the peacekeeper, holding the family or the group together at significant cost to yourself. What you are being asked to leave behind is that exhausting performance. Real fulfillment this year will not look like the Ten of Cups fantasy. It will be messier, more honest, and infinitely more sustainable. Let go of the postcard. Make room for something true. Welcome to pile number 3. There is a profound and somewhat breathtaking irony in drawing the Death card for what you need to leave behind, because this card is the card of leaving behind. What the universe is telling you with unmistakable clarity is that you need to leave behind your resistance to endings. You need to leave behind the part of you that white-knuckles its grip on what is already gone, already dying, already completing its cycle. The hardest thing you will do this year is not starting something new. It is allowing something to truly, finally finish. You already know what this is. There is something in your life, a relationship, an identity, a story you tell about yourself, a chapter that has been quietly closing for longer than you have been willing to admit, that is asking to be released with grace rather than dragged out in pain. The Death card does not ask you to grieve less. It asks you to grieve fully so that you can move through it rather than around it. Avoidance has a cost, and you have been paying it for some time now. What makes this card so powerful in this position is its promise. Death in tarot is never only an ending. It is the necessary clearing that makes genuine rebirth possible. What you leave behind this year is not lost. It is alchemized. It becomes the fertile ground from which something extraordinary grows. But that can only happen when you stop trying to resurrect what was never meant to continue. This year, practice the sacred art of completion. Close the door. Blow out the candle. And then, only then, turn around and see what has been waiting for you in the dark.